Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr-Magazine.
Strap yourself in. It's another Saturday BOLO show. What we try to do every single Saturday is show you some highlights from the past week of sales on eBay, tell you why they sold, what there is about them, whether you can find them out there or not, what to look for on them, maybe a good joke or two by me, bad joke or two by Mr. Magazine. And take it away, Mr. Magazine.
All right, here we go. And still football season, it's very early, and the Buffalo Bills are unstoppable at this point. So anything you have at the Buffalo Bills, if you're not a diehard fan, you should sell it now while they're hot. This didn't go for a lot, but it still put $15 in my pocket. Fleer Buffalo Bills F350 monster truck 124 scale. I had it for a year and a half. It was listed. Finally, they're hot. It sells.
Now, how big is 124th scale? Or is that's a pretty good size
It is a pretty
item,
good
isn't it?
size.
Yeah.
It's probably like 3 pounds. Yeah, definitely. So I think I got 15 on it, and then I think shipping was $11.
Now, who's the Fleer is the brand on that?
Well, I did not list it, but
Well, it says Fleer on there.
They must have seen Fleer somewhere. So
right.
yeah.
Huh.
And someone paid $12 originally for it too.
All right, yeah. No, I just was wondering. I was wondering if that was a name brand or an off brand.
What's even funnier here, it says 132 scale. So this is really a botched listing. So even if you have Buffalo Bills items and they're incorrectly listed, I think you can still sell them. So I would recommend taking the price sticker off and saying the correct scale next time.
Oh, that will help.
Yeah, maybe I would have got more money. Who knows? Moving on, still football season, and the players that were not hot last year may be hot this year, and it's time to sell them when they're sitting in your eBay store. Jalen Hurts, I think they're 2-0. He's doing great right now. A rookie die-cut red prism card. I got $14 out of this. Doesn't look like much. It's kind of cool. If you're an Eagles fan, why not buy it?
Now, that's an insert within the Panini?
Yeah, it's a die-cut card of a base one. Yeah, and then they got different colors, different die cuts, and refractors. It's a whole thing going on. But yeah, very cool. Next up, it's still baseball season. The Yankees are hot because hopefully Aaron Judge is going to hit his 61st home run tonight. But anyways, the ex-Yankee that used to be hot was Don Mattingly. People are still buying his stuff.
Holy mackerel.
But the great thing about this, it's kids' toys. Don Mattingly kids' bat. Don Mattingly kids' gloves. Now, they are unused, and they're probably from the 1990s. But still, got $95 for these 3 items. So if you see them out there, and I'm guessing even if they're used and played with, you're still going to get $50 for this lot all day long.
But that's the kind of thing you actually can find sealed at a garage sale.
Yeah, people didn't play with them. The kid didn't like it, or the kid was too big.
Kid outgrew it. They put it away to give it to him, forgot to give it to him. Now they're cleaning the garage out, and they find it, and they go, who's going to want this? I'll put $1 on it. Get rid of it. Yep, absolutely. Those are the kind of things you can find out there.
In the bat, you're never too young or old for the bat. You can still use that to Izzy Diz.
Right, exactly. No doubt at all.
All right, Maury Wills, Dodgers 1999 Fleer Sports Illustrated autographed card with COA. Unfortunately, this legend passed away recently, and someone took advantage of this. I didn't change the price. I got $19 out of it. But that person probably got a $50 card now, so.
Now, the COA, is that your COA? Or
it's just the stamp. Like, if you look at the stamp here, that's kind of like the certification for Fleer.
That's considered a COA.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on the back, I think it says it as well. Like, the back is actually a COA. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
It's a pretty cool line they put out. They're, pretty affordable, but, a lot of the Hall of Famers and legends and stuff. And, again, this person took advantage, and good for him, rightly so. He's either a collector or he could resell for more money now.
Well, now, on the 99 Fleer, was that an insert card in?
Yeah, those were inserts, yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
very good.
Yeah. All right, next up, X-Men's hot, Marvel's hot. There's always movies coming out. This is Rogue Longshot, X-Baby, Cyclops, Wolverine, X-Men, Marvel 4-pack. And that was a mouthful. But anyways, it went for $70. Doesn't look like much. I don't even think that it's that old. I think it's maybe 5 years old. But,
wow.
Again, if you see stuff like this, any older unopened Marvel, jump on it. Marvel's hot.
Wow.
All right, we're going to go next up. Faraday Potour electric bike size medium with wood grain fender and basket leather seat. I bought this from the gentleman that had the Gene Autry in the Western collection. He didn't know if I was into electric bikes. I said, not really, but I'll take a chance. Looked it up. I made him a fair price. No one else wanted it. And, a few weeks later, I sold it for, I think, with shipping, close to $2,000.
Now, can I ask, what's an electric bike? I'm not aware of what they are.
See how your feet are right now? Imagine riding a bike with your feet just like that, not moving.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old is that?
This was, I want to say, it was one of the earlier ones. I think it was like maybe 10 years old, but it was hardly ever used, if at all. I think the lock is, this lock here, I think is still never opened. It's still been attached and never came out of the pocket there. So, yeah, I don't think it was, used much at all. But everything's there, all the paperwork and,
Wow.
Yeah, it's, they don't make that particular model with the wood grain anymore. So the only way you're getting it is from me. So
Now, did you warranty it?
I did not warranty it.
Well, because I don't know, like, I'm assuming it must work off of a battery of some kind or something.
Yeah, it's new and everything looks new. That's a good question. Never thought of that, but we'll take our chances. Now the hard part is taking it apart in 3-4 pieces and shipping it out, so we don't get. We'll probably UPS it.
Well, but the other side of it as well is when you take it apart, you want to make the assembly easy for the gentleman on the other end as well.
Yeah.
So
and you certainly don't want it getting damaged shipping it in 1 or 2 big pieces, because then what are you going to try and buy parts to put it together? So you're better off like taking each wheel off, taking the handlebars off, and the frame.
Right.
So, a lot of risk involved, a lot of work involved, but
good profit.
Yeah, good profit. Yeah.
Wow.
Lastly, these are hot as a pistol, these Victorian trade cards. We've been selling them all the time, 10, 20, 30 bucks. These things are over 100 years old. You can't beat it. This is a Zinnmeister Brothers boot and shoe. Nothing major, nothing great, doesn't look fancy, nice rows on there, but I did get 30 bucks for it. And great advertising on the back as well.
Nice. Yeah, and these are the kind of things you can find out there, especially at the flea market. You find one of the older dealers, he's got these out there for $1 or less each. So you definitely can pick these kind of things up very
that's a
inexpensively
good
out
profit
there.
maker there. Good
It
profit
certainly
maker.
is, yep.
But if you have any good ones on like Whatnot, I think that you should probably pay a lot more than $1. That's just me.
You should go on there and buy them. I may have some coming up soon. 4 o'clock Eastern on Tuesdays. First item I have over here, Courier and Ives Calendar Topper 1955 Cutter Yacht Maria. I have completely changed my tune on these. I don't know why I just suddenly talked like a robot losing its batteries, but Courier and Ives are plentiful. They've been around since the mid 1800s.
Well, and that's not even an old one, really. 1955 isn't an old by any means.
By any means whatsoever. And as a calendar topper, literally what the person did was cut the top off of a calendar, hence the name calendar topper. Has nothing else on it. I guess the back side of this would have the prior month's calendar on it, because you put it down, you lay the next month down. I used to avoid these like the plague. Wanted nothing whatsoever to do with them at all. And then I did a deal where a gentleman had, I think there had to be about 300 of them. And he said, I cannot remember now if I paid $10 or $20 for them.
For all of them?
For all of them.
That's a no-brainer.
I cannot remember which price, any at other books and stuff like that. And he goes, can you give me 20 bucks? I think it was 20 bucks. Can you give me 20 bucks? I'm like, yeah. So I listed these all individually, and they go for $15 to $24 a piece, depending on if somebody makes me an offer or not on them.
They're like calendar size?
Yeah, I believe I said the size suitable for framing, 10 3/4 by 15.
Isn't any size really suitable for framing, if you think about it?
That is true. But so now I actually look for these when I'm out there, because you can find them in groups a lot of times, because you can buy the calendars, you can buy all that kind of stuff. And so many of them were printed throughout the years, because, this isn't necessarily just for 1955. Somebody was probably using a 1957 calendar, a 1959 calendar.
Sure.
There are probably hundreds of different versions of this out there. It's just a lot of people don't list them because they're so common. So I've completely changed my tune on these. Now I buy them and sell them. Something that I just bought because I believe it was at a church sale or an estate sale right at the end, or some reason or other it was basically a throw in a bag kind of deal. Oster blender replacement kit of 6 pieces. I think I actually bought this because I said, I might have that blender, and realized it wasn't my blender.
Jeez.
But I paid $1 or less for it. I think it was fill a bag for $5 kind of deal, and it, I filled it up, listed it, and it went for $22. One of those things that you're actually gated on Amazon. You cannot sell this on Amazon.
Wow.
So guess where it ended up at?
eBay?
Very good guess.
Oh, wow.
And it ended up selling. Yep. So that's why I always preach to people, go to church sales. You can get incredible deals, and you can go so far outside your niche because it's so inexpensive to do so. This is not something I ever keep my eyes open for. I would go to 1,000 flea markets, and these would be sitting on 1,000 people's tables. I'd walk by every single one of them, unless the guy running the tables handed me a bag and said, "Oh, $1, fill it up with everything you want." This might end up in my bag. But otherwise, I don't deal in these.
Hopefully it's going to be a big bag, because I'm sure that's not small, right?
Actually, it was fairly small, yeah. Actually, because it's just these little replacement parts.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not the whole blender by any means. Next item we have over here. Lackawanna Plant, Bethlehem Steel, Telephone Directory, November 1980. We've been selling on eBay for a long time.
Yes, we have.
Have you ever figured out the riddle or the rhythm of eBay?
Well, you just need one person in the world that uses eBay to want your item.
Okay, I
That's
absolutely agree on that.
Now you found it.
I sold the Lackawanna Plant, Bethlehem Steel, Telephone Directory, November 1980. It's been listed for 3 months probably. I picked up at a flea market. Okay?
Yep.
Same day, to a different person, I sold the Lackawanna Plant, Bethlehem. It wasn't the Lackawanna Plant. It was like the Baltimore Plant Telephone Directory from 1983 to a different person.
Someone else.
That day. 2 days later, to a third person, I sold the 1982 Pittsburgh one.
Wow.
From that.
You're hot.
Apparently, Bethlehem Steel items are incredibly hot. I don't sell any of them for 3 months, and then I sell to 3 different people within the same, like within a 2-day or 3-day period.
Cool. Yeah.
Absolutely insane. You never know exactly why something like this takes off. That's why the long tail works. If I were just listing it a couple of times, I would have given up on it and never would have sold it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I saw 3 different ones from Bethlehem Steel all within the same week.
Crazy.
No explanation whatsoever. I was almost going to bring those up with my next 2 things and go, oh, and I sold, and I sold.
Yeah.
Next item, you would have seen this, and I'm sure Mr. Magazine will watch it like the Zabruta film, in my haul video from Springfield. A gentleman had these out. $1 a piece, and I ended up buying 6 different arts magazines. Now, one of them had an interview with Salvador Dali. I believe it was titled "Hello, Dali," and that, believe it or not, has not sold yet. This sold for $32. I think I took an offer of $25 on it, but this sold within a day of listing it, probably because of Frank Lloyd Wright. But take a look at the condition, Mr. Magazine.
It looks a little beat on. Yeah.
Read the condition line.
Back cover missing, front cover detached. Wow. One ad clipped inside.
Yeah, and
acceptable. You got a good acceptable. Yeah, either way. Yeah.
It just goes to show that, and again, I posted one of the pages from Frank Lloyd Wright. Just goes to show that when you get into the obscure stuff, and I've preached this from the mountaintop, condition does not matter that much on this. The gentleman was probably a Frank Lloyd Wright collector. Could have been a Henry Moore or Ferdinand Liger collector as well. Probably never saw this before.
Yeah.
Had opportunity to buy it, and he doesn't care. He's buying it for the content, not because he's going to put it in his collection.
Good for you. I never done well with arts magazines, so I stay away from them. But yeah, you know what you're doing.
Vladimir Horowitz knows what he's doing. A head sheet, 1952 25th anniversary season. This was a nice item for 2 reasons. Number 1, it was inside of a playbill that I bought, so I didn't pay anything for it.
Yeah.
So it was a bonus item sitting in there. Well, it's 3 reasons. Number 2, you may have seen this in my Madison Bachville haul video, where I went to the dealer and I started looking at their playbills and items like that, and they said, "Hey, you interested in a bunch of them?" And they had like $1 a piece on them. Made a pile, and they said, "How about $2?" And there were like 10 or 12 of them for $2. I'm like, yeah, I think if I can't make money buying it at that price.
Yeah.
And this was in there. I know, and this is one of the areas where Mr. Magazine and I completely differ. And that's when we put things up for auction, I take offers. Mr. Magazine does not take offers.
I took my first one.
Oh, very good.
By mistake, my employee listed a bunch of those scene magazines. Was from Cleveland.
Yep.
And he had the offer in there. But we had them out for $50, so usually if they don't sell, we take offers after that. But we had one of Rush with Geddy Lee on the cover and the whole band, and I think they offered $45. And I was thinking, I thought for a second, I go, what year is it? Because I know Rush came out in the early '70s. I go, it's like mid '80s. It's not like it's early Rush anyway, so I took it. Why not?
Well, I had this up at $32 for auction. A gentleman made me an offer on it, and I accepted it.
Nothing wrong with that.
He offered me $50 on it.
Oh, well, even better.
He's overseas,
Oh,
so he paid $15 shipping on it as well. So he paid $65 to get this over there.
I mean, how many could be out there?
That is actually very, very true as well. Because it was also, I believe if you look down over here, it was for a Newark, New Jersey appearance.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be thrown out, basically, and the person forgot to throw it out in the playbill.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is ephemera, and that is why ephemera is such a difficult market to learn, but such a lucrative market at times. Everybody else would look at this and pass right by this. And again, as Mr. Magazine pointed out, it's for a Newark, New Jersey show. It may be the only one in existence in the world. It may be. I mean, it's nice looking. It's got a big picture of him on it. I believe I mentioned the size down below, 6 1/4 by 9 1/2. But with the person offering me $50 on it right away, right from Jump Street, I took it. Very happy to have it gone because again, I paid nothing for it because I didn't even know it was there when I bought it.
Sure.
So always look inside playbills. If you do see people with the playbills with this in, just buy the whole playbill. They're not going to charge you any more with this in there versus not buying the playbill.
Yeah.
You pull it out, they may actually look at it. You buy the playbill, they're not going to look at it or care. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. We would care, or unless you hit the like button. How about that?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
what I'm trying to say in my
Just hit
convoluted
it.
way.
No,
Just hit it. There you go.
There you go.
And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.